Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines, our daily get-togethers here live on Facebook every morning, 10:30 in the morning. And what do we do here? We get together and we check out what's going on in our world through headlines, comments, tips, ideas, comments, suggestions, all kinds of information that helps us have a wonderful life here in Puerto Vallarta as a community of English-speaking local speakers, or speakers that are local, or locals that speak English. I don't know. We just get together here and try to find good stuff to talk about, although we always have to face the hard news that happen in our city and in outside of Puerto Vallarta and how these news affect us. But the good news is that today, despite the fact that it is Monday, we usually share the news that we get from our governor about what's going on COVID-wise. We have some exciting news to discuss today, including the upcoming relocation of Los Muertos Pier, along with some interesting plans that Mayor Dávalos has unveiled thanks to his acquisition of new investors that are going to be coming into Puerto Vallarta. So we can look forward to a wonderful year of exciting things that are going on. But before we go there, let me remind you, if you are new to these broadcasts, today is Monday. My name is Paco. And of course, we welcome new friends into our cluster. If you are new, please write the word new in your comments so that we can welcome you properly. And if you have specific questions that we can answer, we will be so very glad to answer them. Questions such as Joe Willis asks, is it still snowing in Sayulita? And the answer is yes. Sayulita was subjected to an unexpected blizzard a couple of days ago, and it continues to snow. Apparently, it will continue to snow until all the surfers decide to vacate the town. This is some kind of very fishy arrangement between surfers and Mother Nature that we have no access to until but we do know that people were taken off guard by all the snow that is happening just 45 minutes north of Puerto Vallarta. Let us take some time to welcome some of our friends that are here with us. I see Trucha is in the house. Claude is in the house. Let's see. William wants somebody to turn on the heat. We will turn on the heat with some great news today, of course. Let us see. Michael, who is starting a new pancake restaurant, says, good morning, everyone. Congratulations on your new venture, Michael. Let's see, what else do we have? I can hardly wait for those crazy... What are you talking about, Jill? You know, we are a publication of integrity. One of the big challenges, Jill, with everything that's going on in our surroundings is all this voluminous amount of news that cannot be relied. You can always be assured that what you will hear here at Coffee and Headlines is exactly the truth, as Luna sees it, of course, because, you know, if Luna doesn't believe it, then, of course, we cannot talk about it. Let's see, what else do we have? Okay. Oh, yes, we are certainly going to discuss this bit of news. My sister, Maria Leonor, shares with us the late, wonderful Armando Manzanero passed away early this morning. He was 85 years of age, and we'll have a little mini tribute for him at the end of the broadcast today. Very, very deserving. I've been wanting to talk about Armando Manzanero for such a long time, and it is unfortunate that we have to do this under such circumstances. Do we need to rename the Luna Camp to the Luna Butt Camp? She does seem to have a thing about butting the audience, and one of the things that I never do, I never force her to jump up here. Whenever she jumps up here, she does it on her own. So that's exactly how we're going to do. New venue, can somebody fill me in? Well, I'm just reporting what I read on the headlines. I saw it on Vallarta today, Michael, that you were opening a new pancake house. So maybe you can tell us about the concept and the name and what's going on, etc., etc. Angelica is also confused about the bars. Oh, we're going to touch base on that. There you go. What else is going on? Okay, I am caught up with you, so we might as well get started with our news today because we have a lot of things to cover. I seem to have a speck of white dust in one of my... There you go. Let's get started today. As always, we begin with the comments that we get from our Governor Enrique Alfaro as far as what is going on today with our weekly indicators for COVID for the state. And this is what Governor Alfaro has to say. These are the indicators for Jalisco of the week. The hospital occupation increased from 31% to 34%. The intensive care units went up from 47.3 to 53.2%. And the positivity of our Radar Jalisco program increased from 42.7 to 43.2%. We are still in time to revert this tendency and save millions of lives. Even though this increase does not compromise our hospital capacity, there are certain regions such as Southeast and Alto Sur that decrease their occupation. This is the reality that we are facing, and we cannot stand still. This is the reason why we decided to implement preventive measures to decrease mobility during nights and weekends in the metropolitan area of Guadalajara and in Puerto Vallarta until January the 10th. We hope that they will give positive results and that little by little we will be able to revert this tendency. It is up to each and every one of us. Together, we were able to reactivate our economy, recover more jobs than any other state in the country, and avoid thousands of deaths. Now, with the arrival of the vaccine, we are on the final stretch of a long race of resistance. For your health, for your family, and for the economy, let us not drop our guard. So that is what our governor has to say. Let us take a look at the charts that he shared with us. First of all, he talks about general occupation, which indeed we see that it is 34% and 53% in intensive care unit beds. And these are, of course, public hospitals only, does not include private hospitals. Then we look at occupation by different regions. Of course, here is Puerto Vallarta. We are at 13.6%, which is a low number considering the 58.3% over here and 51.8% over here. These are the two regions of our state where Governor Alfaro was indicating that the numbers are a lot higher. The rate of positivity, which is of the people that go and test. This is important. It's the people that go and test, not the population in general. Of the people that go and require a test through the system implemented by our government, of every 100, 43.2 have tested positive for the virus. So the bottom line about these is that, we know what we need to do. We know what we need to take care of in order to take care of ourselves and our loved ones, and we don't need to repeat it, but we will. Face masks, safe distance, stay home, wash hands, you know the drill. We know what we're supposed to do, and it's easy to do. Moving right along, and I'll continue with COVID news, and then we will stop to look at comments. This happened on Saturday. We didn't report it over the weekend because yesterday was Sunday Fun Day, and I hope you had fun yesterday. I had fun yesterday. We received the second load of vaccines on Saturday. This is the second load of Pfizer arriving at the international airport in Mexico City. And this shipment consists of 35,124 doses that are going to be distributed to medical personnel starting today. And additional doses were sent to Monterrey, where they're going to be distributed in the state of Coahuila. So this is all part of the very complicated and hopefully effective method in which our government is deploying the vaccines as they arrive. So if the number seems like a small number of vaccines, it's not that these are the only ones that we are going to receive. They're just going to be delivered in small amounts on a regular basis, or at least that's what I gather. Let me take a look at I can confirm that question, Steve, based on some intelligence that we received yesterday, and I absolutely have some images to prove that, actually. So let me go back and take a look at your comments and see what we have here. Let's see. Let's see. Lunas has turned her back on us. Well, sometimes she needs to have her privacy. What can I tell you? Let's see. I don't see impressive straight face. Well, it's the same face I wear every day. I didn't shave this morning, but I really appreciate your comment. I'm very excited about the pancakes myself. Everything else that Michael does is so spectacular that opening a pancake restaurant on top of his hot dog restaurant, his Mexican restaurant, his Thai restaurant, and his special eatery for refugees from Tasmania. I mean, he's just got such a grip on good cuisine. I'm sure that the pancakes are going to be lovely. Luna is thrilled with her new 3 puppies. She is being very disciplined with them, so she is not letting everybody or anybody see them until they go through cat finishing school. Let's see, what else do we have? Yes, tequila production is going to end forever because the government is going to focus. Well, this is a complicated one to explain, Jeannie, because there is such a cultural implication with tequila. And what has happened is that the government has deployed this long-term process of removing the heritage aspect of tequila, and tequila is actually going to become a breath-cleansing fluid. It is uncertain to see what they're going to replace it with, but I am looking forward to doing mouth rinses with tequila. I think it'll make me forget about all my mouth woes. Let's see. William asks, is today some Mexican equivalent of April Fool's Day? Well, as a matter of fact, William, today Mexico and the world celebrates the Day of the Holy Innocents. But this is something that happened on the Bible. What would that have to do with playing prank jokes on people is a mystery to me. Now, this is a very serious holiday that was initiated on the Bible. We talked about this a few days ago, and I wanted to make sure that you were all on the same page as far as we are concerned. Let's see, what else do we have? Okay, I can continue with the news. This is terrific. Let's move right along. And we know, let's see what this is about, that, oh my God, this is so confusing, and I'm sure you're confused as well. Today we hear from Vallarta Opina that the emergency button has developed its own variant. There will be service on the Malecón until 2 a.m. in the morning in the restaurant bars on the Malecón. Meanwhile, all the other bars are supposed to be closed, period, and this news note says it's worth mentioning that all the businesses are under strict inspections to fulfill sanitary protocols, limiting their capacity and enforcing the use of face masks. I personally have stopped worrying about these kinds of news because I know that I'm not going to be going out to restaurants at night, and I'm not going to be going out to restaurants or to nightclubs I'm just not. So, I mean, you can choose to decide how much energy you want to spend reading all these headlines about things that are open when they're not supposed to be open, or how much time you're going to nurture yourselves with some wonderful Netflix binging. I'm choosing the latter. In more news, we learn that Semarnat, which is the environmental agency, Semarnat in Mexico, is the environmental agency that gives permits to buildings such as the controversial building or reef that is being built at Los Arcos. And we learn from Vallarta Opina that they have suspended permits to visit Los Arcos. Semarnat, which is this agency, has abandoned their offices. So apparently, folks that do touristic services were startled when they were trying to approach the offices of Semarnat to renew their permits to be able to take boats around Los Arcos, which is this beautiful natural monument that we have south of Puerto Vallarta. And apparently, they tried to renew their permits and they have not been able to do so because Semarnat has closed their doors. We don't know if they're on a holiday vacation, but some people think that this may have to do with some kind of political maneuver to insist that all the activity providers that have been critical of this construction do stop being critical of it. I happened to drive past it just a few days ago, and I could see that indeed construction of that pier continues to take place. And what we've been able to find out is that this is all part of a larger strategic plan that the government of Puerto Vallarta has to relocate Los Muertos Pier altogether. We've been able to acquire some renderings in which Los Muertos Pier will be actually lifted from its foundation and transported south on a barge that is going to be brought in from Indonesia, and Los Arcos are going to be installed next to, the Los Muertos Pier. I'm sorry, this is such exciting news that I get all confused. Los Muertos Pier is going to be installed right next to Los Arcos, south of Puerto Vallarta, but not on a permanent basis. What is going on Los Arcos, south of Puerto Vallarta, is that they're actually building a large retrofitting dock in which Los Muertos Pier will actually become a floating entity, and it will actually be able to travel through different parts of the bay according to the political climate. In other words, if we need to look good in the North Shore, Los Arcos will be eventually, the pier will be eventually moved over there, and so forth and so on. And what is absolutely beautiful about this new retrofitting that they're doing to the, Los Muertos Pier is that it'll have a spin cycle. And this spin cycle will make it twirl around and will help not only to keep it clean, but it will also help us from having marauders jumping on it and trying to make out at late night hours. How is this all possible? Well, this is part of one of the big campaign promises that our mayor, Dávalos, has given us, and it includes the completion of this very ambitious cultural monorail, whose construction is going to start immediately. And this is a monorail designed to increase the popularity of cultural performances in our city. You see, the monorail will have stops at Teatro Vallarta. Let me see. It says here it's going to have stops at Teatro Vallarta, at Encanto, at Act 2 Entertainment, and also at the Palm. And there's a note here saying that the folks at Nacho Daddy tried to lobby for a stop, and unfortunately they were not be able to get their wishes completed. There was also some kerfuffle that we cannot confirm, because this is all hearsay that I read on Facebook, that the different owners of the different venues wanted to insist on the fact that they would be the supervisors of this new project. I believe Hedda Lettuce had something to do, and I believe it was Gouda Gabor who wanted to be the train captain here. And as far as I know, the only thing that we've been able to verify is that the Palm Cabaret, due to the fact that they have just inaugurated their ceiling that retracts, then people are going to be able to disembark from the monorail at the Palm by using a gigantic trampoline that the Palm has installed on their bar area. So they can jump right into the action, get a cocktail, and sit down and enjoy the show. Now, you're probably wondering, how are all these new investments possible? Well, it turns out that our mayor, who has been seen relatively little in the last few days, has been lobbying with key investors. He has been seen playing golf at this famous resort called Mar-a-Lago, and he has been chatting with investors that are very keen on relocating to Puerto Vallarta, but are refusing to reveal their names due to confidentiality issues. We know for a fact that for many years we have had many important personalities living in Punta de Mita and places like that. So it is no surprise that these residents from Mar-a-Lago may want to come down to Puerto Vallarta to look for some privacy. We hope they will be good neighbors as always. And now, the weather. It's 21 degrees. Oh my God, it's 21 degrees. That is cold. It feels like 22 degrees. And of course, that would be 70 degrees Fahrenheit. We have a 57% humidity. And it says here, look up in the sky. It's the yellow star that gives Superman his powers. Yay. Today is Monday. It is going to be clear through the day with a high temperature of 25, low temperature of 16. Tuesday, tomorrow, it'll be clear through the day, high temperature of 25, low temperature of 15. Tomorrow, Wednesday, 24 is the high temperature. It'll be partly cloudy through the day, and we will have a low temperature of 14. This is a good moment to stop and take a look at some of your comments, and let's see what we have. Da, 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 da. Was it fake news that Michael Beaufort was opening a pancake restaurant? Of course it was not fake news. Michael, you should know our community in our cluster and our tight commitment to only revealing news that have reliable sources. I actually think that it is exciting that Michael Beaufort will. Okay. I can't keep a straight face anymore. I'm losing on this game. Okay. Let's see. What else? What else is going on? I read today. Yes. Well, yes, I told you, Steve Elfers, that Donald Trump, we assume it's Donald Trump. If our mayor has been golfing in Mar-a-Lago, it's got to be Trump. Yes, Melania is going to decorate all the streets. Basilio Vadillo is, Melania is going to take over the Garden Club. Absolutely. Yes. Michael is starring a new opera at the Palm. This is fantabulous. I love it. Let's see. Of course, cat finishing school. All cats take their pets through cat finishing school. Let's see, what else do we have? How could you, Heather? How could you forget this? So many years that we worked in Vallarta Lifestyles and we didn't even have a venue or a sense of humor to play Dia de los Inocentes. It's like I've been waiting for 19 years. So yes, today is Dia de los Inocentes. You had me until the barge from Indonesia. I love it. I love it. Profe, it was so good to see you yesterday. You were so handsome on that chair, and I felt myself blushing. What in the heck did I eat for breakfast? What do you mean what? I had the usual, my coffee and my headlines. Let's see, what else do we have? Sheila is confused. Please tell us what confuses you, Sheila. We are here to create reliable connections between you and our community. Please, can I share what I'm smoking? No, I can't be smoking this early, Jill. It's way too early today. Let's see, what else do we have? Let's see. Da, 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 da. You thought I was being serious until the trampoline? Then I must have been doing a good job. Susan says, I'm so gullible. I gave you all head warning for the last 3 days. I've been telling you, Gouda, you have been on my plans to do April Fool's Day ever since I started coming up with this. I gave you warning. I gave you like 2 or 3 days worth of warning that we would be having day. When am I interviewing Trump? I'm too busy. I'm just too busy. The Queen of England, Her Majesty, just keeps me engaged in what's going on over there. I keep flying back and forth. Let's see. We actually do have a few more news that I want to share before we wrap up this cookie. Dia de los Inocentes. Let me whip this up. Oh, hold on. That's much better. Let's see. I actually do not know. No, wait. Where's the one that I want to show you? I want to show you first this one. Okay. So our own president, López Obrador, had fun with Dia de los Inocentes this morning. He told reporters with a very straight face that he was no longer going to offer press conferences because the newspapers had everything under control and they had perfect ways in which they could access information. And he said this with a straight face, and halfway through his morning press conference, he said to the newspaper representatives, I was joking, you know that, right? And he said, oh my God, we wouldn't want the conservatives to believe that was true because they would be like just going so over it, being so excited about it, it's not even funny. So our very own president decided to play Dia de los Inocentes on his reporters this morning. This next news item, I actually don't know if this is Dia de los Inocentes or not, but I think it is worth reporting. I don't know if Vallarta Opina went a little crazy with this, but Vallarta Opina reports that the local police is going to provide escort service to those that withdraw money from the banks. According to the Citizen Safety Direction Office here in Puerto Vallarta, you can now call 911 and let the police know that you're going to withdraw money and that you need an escort. So the police will do this. The police will do this for you. And it doesn't matter if you're withdrawing 1,500 pesos or 150,000. And they even have a little graphic which makes me believe that this is actually a legitimate bit of news. So there you have it. This means that if you need to withdraw money from the bank or deposit large amounts of money, you can get additional protection. I really hope this is true, because one of the problems that happens is that that going to the bank and carrying large amounts of money is just too tempting for some. Before we wrap up today, let me take a quick look at final comments, and then we are going to have a little mini tribute to the late Armando Manzanero, who passed away this morning. Let's see. I want to see Gouda leading a train as well. And I thank you so much for letting me indulge on Dia de los Inocentes. I've been wanting to do this for such a fucking long time. Oh, too funny. My sister is giggling. Gracias, hermanita, te quiero. Okay. I was actually going to do a news item about Julie Guerrero taking over the airport and launching her own airline, and it was going to be called Hello Babies Air. But it became too complicated because I couldn't find a good photo of Julie to be able to put her looking out the cockpit or something to that effect. But it was fun. I had fun. And I have to say that the suggestion of Los Muertos being relocated, Los Muertos Pier, came from someone from Coffee and Headlines. I asked you folks to volunteer your own suggestions for Cookie News, and that one was so wonderful I could not resist. And now, as I was saying before, if there is a George Gershwin in Mexico, if there's a prolific songwriter, singer, musician, composer, performer that has been with us and has really represented our country all over the place. It is Armando Manzanero. Armando Manzanero died from COVID this morning early in the morning. He was 85 years of age. I had the pleasure and the honor of meeting him in Boston when he received a doctorate degree, an honorary degree from Berklee College of Music, where I went to school. So I remember we had a reception for him, and he was the most wonderful, kind human being, very inspired and very inspiring. I'd like to tell you a little bit about his music, if I may. Armando Manzanero was born in the state of Yucatan. He was one of the most emblematic composers of contemporary Mexican music, creator of hits like Somos Novios and Contigo Aprendí, which were interpreted by him and by many artists from Luis Miguel to Alejandro Fernandez. He registered more than 400 songs, of which 50 have acquired international fame. We have talked about one of his songs before, Somos Novios. We performed it I believe we played it here at Coffee and Headlines with Shirley Bassey singing it. And we talked about the duet that, it was Luis Miguel with Celine Dion. They did a duet of Somos Novios. Manzanero enrolled in the Fine Arts School at age 8, and at age 15, he composed the song Nunca en el Mundo, Never in the World, which has been recorded over 20 times. In the decade of the 50s, he launched his first album as a soloist, and during his 7 decades of professional career, he composed more than 600 songs, many of them recorded by foreign performers like Perry Como and by Tony Bennett. I'm going to leave you with a link of that. He wrote music for the movies, and he received the Lifetime Achievement Award from the Grammys in 2014, and so he became the first Mexican to receive an honorary Grammy. Again, if I tell you, I could just talk about Armando Manzanero for hours, and he is such a great loss to Mexico. I'm going to share the lyrics of one of his songs, for which I'm going to leave you a link to a video. Why am I not seeing what I want to see? Because it's not open. Let me open this. And there we go. So, one of Armando Manzanero's biggest hits is called Esta Tarde vi Llover. This afternoon I saw it rain. I am going to leave you a link to a wonderful duet performance of this between Armando Manzanero and I knew the name would escape me. Alejandro Sanz, the wonderful Spanish singer Alejandro Sanz. So this is what Esta Tarde vi Llover is about. The first verse says, I saw it rain this afternoon. I saw people run, and you were not there. The other night, I saw a bright blue star, and you were not there. The other afternoon, I saw that a bird who seemed to be in love kissed its lover, full of love and illusion, and you were not there. This afternoon, I saw it rain, I saw people run, but you were not there. I saw the fall come and go. I heard the ocean sing, but you were not there. I don't know how much you want me, if you miss me or you cheat on me. All I know is that I saw it rain, I saw people run, but you were not there. And I am getting horrible goosebumps as I'm sharing this seemingly very simple song. And I'm going to share a recording of it with the show notes for today. Let me take a quick look at some of your final comments so that we can be on our way. Let's see. Michael says music, and of course, yes. I didn't want to. I'm raising funds for Luna and I through our little buy me a coffee thing, and I didn't want to really know that what I'm trying to do is save money to be able to advertise the Brooklyn Bridge. I got stuck with that bridge some time ago, and I just don't know what to do with it. Let's see. La da 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 da. I want to hear your your tips, Stephanie, on how you managed to get the bridge sold, because I'm really, really stuck with that. Elvis Presley sang "It's Impossible." Thank you very much, my dear sister. His music is really something. It's really something. We're going to be sharing some. We're going to be sharing some of his music in the next few days. Let's see what else. Somebody was asking what's going on in Sayulita. Monica, it is snowing in Sayulita, 2.5 feet. It's very unprecedented. We are keeping our eye on the weather to make sure that this weather is not to come to Puerto Vallarta, because there are a lot of people that are hoping for some sun, and it is very well deserved. And speaking of very well deserved, you deserve a very lovely farewell as always. It's been a pleasure to get together with you on this day, Dia de los Inocentes. Ta-da! And I look forward to your company and your suggestions and your comments tomorrow and any other day that you wish to be part of this cluster. As always, please remember that Coffee and Headlines is supported by you. So please keep these links in mind should you wish to become a contributing supporter. Between now and the next time that I see you, please stay kind, stay calm, stay happy, stay healthy, and stay with a good sense of humor. And don't forget to visit the Elvis Hotel that is absolutely located in the Bermuda Triangle. I was there last week and got an outstanding mani-pedi. Have a great day.